Hello class, today our objective is to divide decimal dividends by non-unit decimal divisors. This is lesson 31 of module 4. Our first problem will be 348 tenths divided by 6 tenths. Now my first step is going to be to create these problems into a fraction. Well, we know that dividing is really a fraction. 348 tenths will be my numerator and 6 tenths will be my denominator. So that's our first step, is to create something familiar to us, something that we have been working with. And our next step is now to get rid of our decimal points, or in this case, our whole decimal. We want whole numbers, just like the 34 here. So to get rid of a tenth, we have to multiply it by 10 over 10. That means the 8 will shift to the left one time, and it'll be in the ones place. So we'll have 348 over 6 will now shift 1 over because of the 10. So I'll have 6 in the ones place. Now my third step is going to be to divide it out. And let's say I needed an entry point for this problem. So I am going to estimate. That's my estimation symbol. I'll put ES on the top. And my 348, I'm going to say 360. So 360 divided by 6 will give me 60. So because I have to round up, I'm going to start with a low number. So 6 times 3, 6 goes into 3. We can't do that. But 6 goes into 30 5 times to give us 30. 34 minus 30 will give us 4. Now I'll bring down my 8. 6 goes into 48 8 times. So our answer for this problem is 58. And that is near 60. So that is correct. Now our next problem, sorry, I like a lisp there for some reason. It's going to be 736 divided by 800. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go by steps. Well, my first step is to turn it into a fraction. So we take the whole number, turn it into a fraction. My next step, step 2, is to get rid of our decimals. Decimal points, decimals. We want to get whole numbers. So to get rid of 100th, we have to multiply it by 100. And that means the 6 here is going to shift 2 decimal places. It's going to go 6, 1, 2. So that 6 will be in the ones place. That's my ones place. My 3 will be my tens place. And my 7 will be my hundreds place. So I have 736. Now the 8 is going to also shift twice. 1, 2. To be my ones place. Now I'm going to divide it out. 8. 36. Now if I didn't want to estimate, all I have to do is 8 goes into 7. It does not. 8 goes into 73. It does. 9 times. 8 times 9 is 72. 73 minus 72 will give me 1. Bring down my 6. 8 goes into 16 twice. No remainder. So my answer is 92. Now let me look for a problem that I saw some of us were struggling with in class today. This will be the last problem of the video before I show you your mystery problem. My first step is I am going to turn it into a fraction. Now I want to get rid of my decimal points, my decimal numbers, and have a nice whole number. If I multiply it by 10 over 10, I'll still have a decimal on top, which is not what I want. So I want to multiply it by the 100th here to get rid of that 100th. But we have to multiply it by something that is equal to 1. This is equal to 1. The 5 will shift 2 decimal places. It'll go 1, 2. And it'll be in the ones place. So I have 455. Now, this is the one we have to look out for. Is 7 is in the 10th place. So I need a 10 to shift that 7 into the ones place. So if I have 100, it's going to shift that 7 into the 10th, into the tens place to give me 70. It's going to go 1 and then 2 into the tens place. So now, my third step, which is to divide it out. So I have 70, and then I have 455. Well, 70 does not go into 45. 70 does go into 555. Let's pretend that's a 0. 7 goes into 45. Sorry, I blanked out for a second. 6 times. 7 times 6 is 42, or in this case, 420. We subtract it, so now we have 35. Add your decimal place. Add your 0. Bring your 0 down. 70 goes into 35, or really 70 goes into 350 5 times. 70 times 5 is 350. No remainder. Our answer is 6.5. The problem that I would like for you all to do is this problem. And you need to follow the steps. Our first step, convert or write in fraction form. Our second step is to multiply to get rid of the decimal. And our last step is to divide it out. Go ahead and try this problem on your own, following the steps, and show me in class.